there's a part of human design that's not talked about enough when it comes to like how to use your human design authority, and that is called your signature feeling and your not self theme. So as an example, this comes from the type that you are. So manifestors are meant to follow their peace and their feeling of like connectedness. That's their signature feelings versus anger, they're not self. It can also show up as like resentment or bitterness, but most of the time it's like anger and themselves or others when they're not informing and when they're not doing things in alignment with what their authority is telling them to do. It's like the blind spot warning on your car. Like it gives you a like, oh, warning, you're going in the wrong direction if you're feeling you're not self feeling more often than your signature feeling. And I walk you through this in the custom human design report that you can get from my website after you put in your chart and get your human design chart from my website. So if you don't know yours, I highly recommend doing that and figuring it out, because it is meant to be used in alignment with your authority, because human design is truly your navigational system for like how you are meant to move through your life. And astrology is more timing, right? Like we're all feeling Mercury retrograde. I've had to refilm this like 3 times because I just feel like I can't get out what I need to say in the way that I want to say it and the way that I want it to come across. So I'm like redoing it, right? That's Mercury retrograde. That's timing. That's astrology's purpose. Human design is more so how are you meant to move through life? So I'll give you all a practical example. I'm a manifesting generator, so my not self theme is frustration and anger versus my signature feeling, like what I'm supposed to be feeling when I'm using my authority in the correct way, is satisfaction and peace. So last night I posted on my stories, you might have saw that I was like packing for Europe and like had on a good playlist. And it's at one point it got so frustrating to like be packing for Europe that I couldn't do it anymore. I had to like leave it alone. I had to do something else, right? Manifesting generator. We're meant to bounce around. So when something is frustrating me or bringing me anger, I'm meant to leave it alone and go do something else and put my energy into what actually feels good in that moment. So I went and did other things. Like I went out and got myself dinner and just like walked around town and like did something else because that whole process was really frustrating me. And then lo and behold, like a few hours later, I was like, you know what? I want to pack for Europe right now. I want to plan all my outfits. I want to try everything on. And I want to like have a practice packing to see if it all fits in the suitcase and like is under the weight limit and shit. And I did that and it brought me a lot of satisfaction. And because it was the right timing for me to do that, my authority sacral was like, yeah, okay, we're actually excited to go do this now. Versus earlier, it like brought me frustration, right? So it probably wasn't what I should be doing. Later in the night, it brought me a lot of peace and satisfaction to do it. So this is how human design like gives you that really practical and tangible way to know when you're on the right track and when you're doing things that are truly like in highest alignment for you.